you are new to songwriting and producing and recording, the first thing you need to figure out is, what is your DAW? Do you use Logic? Do you use Pro Tools? Do you use Ableton? What do you like? I personally use Logic Pro X. I think it's great to start on as well if you are a singer-songwriter. So the first thing is, pick a DAW so you can actually start recording. Second thing you need to figure out is, what kind of music do you want to record? Do you want to record EDM? Do you want to record rock? Do you want to record indie? Do you want to record jazz, mathcore, whatever? If you want to record live instruments, you will need to get some sort of interface. I recommend a Focusrite because it's great for beginners and it won't break the bank. I actually use a Focusrite for most of my production. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is guitar. How are you gonna record the frickin' guitar in the session?
How you gonna do it?
I would recommend an acoustic guitar, acoustic electric, so you can plug it in and record DI, direct in, meaning you can plug it into your interface that will record into your DAW, such as Logic or Pro Tools, and you can start songwriting. Also, the great thing about having an external interface like a Focusrite is that you can also record vocals as well as guitar. So these are some really helpful things if you're just starting production. I can walk you guys through some of this stuff eventually if you would like me to. I would love to. We can open a session together and we can record and write a song and it'll become a hit. We'll have an album out together, we'll do it. We'll call it my first song ever on a DAW like Logic. And get samples. Such as synthesizer, stuff like that. Well, you're in luck because Logic has tons of synths that you can mess around with. Now, in saying that, there are some fantastic sites where you can get samples for electronic music, like ADSR. I've definitely used some ADSR samples within my EDM tracks. An important thing when using samples, don't just drag, drop them, and loop them. Please don't do that. Now, if it's for your own whatever and you just want to sit in a car and blast it yourself and you're not planning on putting this music out, loop all you want, drag and drop. But if you're releasing material, make sure to change the tempo, make sure to chop it up, make sure to change the pitch, embed it in your track. Now, you will have a notice when you download these sample packs from ADSR. It will say, please don't just drag and drop and release. Think about it. There are people out there who work very hard on these samples and creating these loops so you can embed them within your songs. Don't just take them and put them out and make money off of their hard work. What the heck? So anyways, it's really important to know this. Don't just drag and drop. Songs are not live drums. They're pre-recorded or they're samples. Another thing to think about, what kind of music do you want to record? If you want to record rock music, you are most likely going to need microphones for your amps. Or if you want, you can record DI. In 11 rack, you can use the Pro Tools, which is an interface with a multitude of different guitar effects with great distortions and delays. If you don't want to invest in something like an 11 rack, you can use something like I have, which is a Focusrite, and go DI into a program like Logic, a DAW like Logic. I would first explore which DAW you like. A lot of these are different. I guess it's all about preference. I personally like Logic Pro. A lot of my friends use Pro Tools, which is still an industry standard. I personally just don't like Pro Tools as much as I like Logic. Now, artists like Kygo use Logic. He's a pretty good artist. Again, my friend Nathan says it's not the gear, it's the ear. So if you're setting out and you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on equipment, but you don't really know how to use it, it's not worth it. It's better to learn your DAW inside and out before purchasing thousands of dollars of plugins. It really depends on what kind of music you want to record. If you want to record electronic and pop like I do, really most of your money will go into samples or samples. So when I record guitar, I go DI, which means direct in. I do not use an amp most of the time. Now, if one of my friends has an incredible amp at a studio and I have the option to use that, I probably will. I'm always a fan of more organic, realistic sounds coming from an EDM artist. So for my guitar effects, I mostly use presets on Logic, and then what I will do is I will manipulate those until I get the sound I like or want. When it comes to putting drums together, I will use clips and samples of snare drums, or I will even combine wave files with 2 or 3 different snare drums to get a beefier sound. I will also include bass drums, so 2 or 3 different kicks. One will have a larger low end or mid, and I'll combine those as well. Really, it just comes down to experiment. There's no exact formula or right way to record or write anything. My writing process usually consists of me coming up with a chord progression I like and I think sounds good, and then I will build instruments on top of that within a music production, and then I will add vocals, vocal melodies, and then add lyrics, and then my song will be complete. In your session, you need some sort of interface, and you need a guitar cable. And Logic also has guitar effects that are built in, which are great. I actually like, there's a double and delay I've used in a couple of my songs, I actually really like. Needed some tweaking, but I really like the bass form of it. And if you want to record some bass, you can use 808s or the bass they have for MIDI set up for you. Anyways, these are some tips and tricks for first time people recording. I will throw some links in the description and we can go from there.